courts of law. And they were once respectable. However, they were mad. What we haven't done is to continue in the tradition in which most of us have been trained. You know, sometimes you see people citing all of these from their long resumes of, you know, where they went and all. None of that matters really at the end of the day. Unless you can show that in its functioning, whether as a lawyer or as a lawyer who's become a judge, there is an added value. There is confidence when you go down to Bay Street in Bank Lane, where the Supreme Courts are, or wherever the Court of Appeal is. Judges cannot be judges simply by being seen to be attacking each other, or trying to discredit each other, or trying to make lawyers or sometimes litigants the objects of criticism when that is not even the issue. Judges have to be judges, and they must bring to their duties the kind of decorum and respect that is befitting the office of a judge, even if they are administering justice under attempt. You don't have it, and that's not to say you don't have some judges who labor, and labor very, very much for long periods in silence. It's the silence that bothers me, because nothing seems to get done. Now, I myself have come to the conclusion that one of the reasons for all of this is a lack of leadership. It is something which we seem to have a difficulty showing any great respect for. We like bullies. We like people who in fact appear to be quick at making the decision, whether those decisions are rational or anything else. You say, ah, you know, he's a great decision maker. Not necessarily good. But what you'd like to see less of is a Justice Lyons having put himself out on a limb when a Chief Justice ought to be interceding on behalf of all of his judges, making a case either to initially the executive or to Parliament, as you do elsewhere in the world. Listen, I need a budget. I need a staff for the judiciary. We cannot maintain our integrity and our respectability as wards of the other two branches of government. We need to be able to show that we've shown up to the task every day of the week. Not have Justice Lyons wearing himself out, becoming more of a politician, discrediting himself as a judge. And then at the end of the day, when he would have expired, everyone laments, well, you know, he was a hard-working fellow. He did more work than all the other judges, and it's a pity that he couldn't resolve his differences. But he couldn't. His differences were really with his own conscience. He knew well that in Australia he would not tolerate it. It would not be tolerated. And that is why they have a much more orderly society than we do. You have to look at the importance of this institution to all of us. You have to. It cannot simply be the case that we appoint people to be judges just to fill a position. Why should parents in this country spend huge sums of money on professionalizing their children, as so many parents do, only to find at the end of the day it was really only to enhance their so-called social standing in some ways and to insulate them from depressions and recessions on other days, but never with a sense of appreciating that in becoming the best at what you do, going to the very same institutions that, let's say, a Lord Hope or a Lord Stein or whomever Lord there is in England. Because some of us do run into them. We've gone to the same institutions. We've seen them. Our children go to the same institutions. So why are we different? Why can't we wish for ourselves that which Caesar wished for Rome. Why can't we? Is it a lack of ambition? Is that why we lack this political accountability in this particular institution? Where you have a judge on any number of occasions insulting people. Why? Not because a particular judge didn't like the particular thing. Frustrated. That's a poor excuse, because you either are able to do the job or you quit. It is not your possession, that is, that office. It's not yours. You don't have a right to keep it. You don't have a right to sit in the chair if it's too large for you. You leave it. And if it's necessary, you make a case for why it is that the judiciary must shut down. At least by then, the people will not expect anything more from you. They will say, officially, we have no cause. It is a sad thing to come to the realization that you have judges, but you do not have a judicial system. You have judges, and you don't have a court of appeal. You have judges, and you do not have a Supreme Court. And that's where we are. That's where we are. What are the casualties? Well, let's look at institutional memory. In the great tradition of all things, and sometimes you see it played out in families, you know, father's a boatsman, he loves sailing, and so he accustoms his children to go with him on weekend cruises, and so they soon learn how to master all of the art of sailing, whether it's a little sailboat or maybe something a little bigger and even yachts. In this country, with this turnstile approach to things, you have people coming in from this place and that place. And then you have lawyers like myself who've been practicing for 30 years. You go before them, and each one wants to tell you how things are done in Barbados, or in Guyana, or in Jamaica. And I'm saying, well, maybe I should check my passport. What do I care? And so we go through a system where it is difficult for me to pass on even to a young lawyer with me what the rules are, what the practices are. What is the decorum of this court? What is it that you need to remember about this institution? What are the prejudices of Judge A? Because they do have prejudices. Before you get to know your judge, that one's gone, somebody else is here. And then you have this game where, and it has dawned on a lot of people, that in fact the real answer to it is this. You play the system. And so some of us are always in with judges. Now, here's the other sad part. When you bring in a judge from outside, unlike myself who would have grown up here, and even though I would not have, except in some instances, come head to head with people who some of you might know. I was looking at a picture today with one of the older people in Government High when I was there, and I saw some people like Mark Gates and the rest of them, Peter Monroe, and I remember how we got along so well. Danilo was another, Danilo. But these judges are brought here and they have no constituency of their own. They have nobody to defend them. What are they expected to do? Where are they expected to be? How are they supposed to socialize? You remember one of the issues that seemed to have gotten into the craw of Justice Allen, making this criticism of Justice Lyons, was that he seemed to have had a relationship that's more than just a casual relationship with somebody else. And I was saying to myself, well, even eunuchs have friends. What is he supposed to do? And why is it of some importance? And if it is of some importance to you, why don't you pull the judge aside before putting his business out on the street and say, listen, am I understanding the situation right? Because it's